but in the sight of God, chosen and precious. You yourselves, like living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house to be holy, a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For it says in Scripture, "Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone, a cornerstone chosen and precious, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame." So the honor is for you who believe, So the honor is for you who believe, but for those who do not believe, the stone that the builder rejected has become the cornerstone, a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. They stumble because they disobey the word, as they were destined to do. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellence of him who called you out of the darkness into the marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Behold, I urge you as sojourners and exile to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation.
It's beloved, I urge you.
Well, let me go back and see. What line is that, Christina?
11.
Beloved, yes, you're right. I urge you as soldiers, correct. All right, very interesting indeed. So what Peter is doing here overall is building a foundation for what it means in the world to be a Christian. And there's one thing that many people, unless they know history, really don't understand. We look at the Roman world at that time, as, quote, pagan, unquote. Like any way of a civilization, there were Stoics, there were people that abstained from what we would call evil. There was all kinds of dimensions and practices. There were people at that, and I read them, who basically said beautiful, beautiful, godly things. So the Christian had to face more than just a bunch of people eating too much and drinking. They had people that were very close in their way to what we would call being good people. And that was the hardest thing for Christians to do, because they were almost saintly, but they were not believers. So the difficulty of that time is often not expressed correctly. It's very subtle. Yeah, you have the typical Hollywood version of a pagan, a slob, who does bad things and eats too much and drinks too much and does whatever. But you had different kinds of people that were much different. So the early Christian had much to face. Did you want to say anything else, Christina?
No.
All right, let's go on. Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme, or as governors as sent by him, who push those who do evil, and to punish those who do evil, and praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, and by the doing good, you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God, honorable, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the emperor. I want to put something in here because it relates to American history, and so on. I went to a school, Bellarmine Jefferson, and Cardinal Bellarmine has a unique place in American history. Most people really don't realize this, or they may. The hostility, not only to Catholics, but to Christians in general, was very real when America became a nation. Very real. Why? Because there's really nothing in the New Testament that justifies what they wanted to do. There was in the Old, but not the New. And that's what Cardinal Bellarmine pointed out. Also, the nun who was the head of the school was a Sister Carol. She was related to the only Catholic who signed the Declaration of Independence. All right, well, let's move on. Did you want to say anything more?
Well, I was just thinking, we use our past to cover up a lot of the evil that we are doing to one another, which is sad because, the Bible tells you not to do it, God tells you not to do it, and yet that's the situation we find ourselves in, using our past to cover up the evil ways of ourselves. We are not our past, we are not our ancestors. We only gain strength and knowledge moving forward, and for us to sit there and ridicule and put down an individual's life for what they did millions of years ago, or just less than that, I think is wrong. You can't dig up bones and put them in front of a judge and rejudge them. They're dead. So let the past be the past. If someone who was evil did something good, I think that's more of appraisal than, let's destroy it and get rid of it because of everything else they stood for. Well, maybe they changed. Maybe they become something different. And so many people are on the wagon saying, hey, I've changed. I'm not the person I was. Give me a chance. And here we don't give our dead a chance. And we're so two-sided about everything. And it's really sad what society has turned into over the years. We need to get back to the basics, which is simply working for each other, loving each other, respecting each other, and allowing each of us to have our own individual personality